Okay, we have a green box and we have a live counter ticking up, but we have learned that does
However,
not
we are not live.
necessarily mean that we are live.
We're live now.
I've been burned too many times before.
Welcome.
There we go.
Welcome back, everyone. We're live.
warrioring some pirates, so to speak.
Somehow, the stream has returned.
So yeah, so what I'm gonna be doing while we, chat shit the entire time, I've started going through basically the entire treasure log as Kaido. So I'm just gonna be doing that in the background. It's generally been taking me like less than 10 minutes because Kaido is very strong.
So, would you like to learn some more problematic facts about Martha Stewart, who is already very problematic?
Oh boy. Sure.
Martha Stewart has a number of dogs who have died under mysterious circumstances, and by mysterious circumstances, I mean literal explosions.
Wait, what?
Martha Stewart's dog, who she named Genghis Khan.
Okay, why though?
Yes, we're getting to that. Martha Stewart's dog, Genghis Khan, died in a propane tank explosion.
Was she trying to teach him how to cook?
Possibly. This was after Martha Stewart's previous dog, Kubla Khan Paw Paw Chow Chow Chow.
The hell?
That is its actual name. Died in, I think, a car accident. So, not only are Martha Stewart's dogs accident-prone, she names them after genocidal figures.
You know, funny thing. Whenever you tell a bunch of high schoolers, or not even high schoolers, more like teenagers in general, that a good 2% of Asia's population is descended from Genghis Khan, they seem to miss the obvious implication of that.
Yeah, the fact that consent.
Either him or his approximate descendants were very into non-consensual stuff. Yeah.
See, they were rapists. Just tell it like it is. Like,
Yeah.
there's no need to soften.
I mean,
the blow
I'm just trying to be, sensitive to people who might not want to discuss that kind of thing or hear about that.
I mean, we already brought it up. I'm sure, like, as someone with a number of triggers, talking around it helps to a certain extent, but your mind does a lot of the work. Sadly. On a similar note, apparently, like, a good number of, like, a good portion of England's population is blood related to Charlemagne.
I'm not shocked. A lot of royals had a lot of bastards.
Yeah, in between all the incest.
Oh my god, just look at Carlos II of Spain's family tree. I mean, family tumbleweed.
It's like that one visual novel family tree.
Oh god.
Was it School Days?
Yeah, it was the greater School Days universe. It's actually not too bad in School Days itself, apparently. It's just like, if you look too deep into the wider setting, you get a lot of horrifying levels of incest.
Yeah, the worst thing School Days, there's like a nice boat and everything.
Yep. The boat is very nice.
We don't talk about what's inside the boat, but the boat is definitely nice. So, there's some. I need to like get this off my chest. Why are visual novels like this?
I mean, visual novels come in a wide variety of different options, or different genres, rather.
Yeah, there's some like really good visual novels with touching stories, and then there's the absolute degenerate visual novels like School Days, the Expanded Universe, and then there's the ones that are both, like Fate.
See, Fate's an interesting one because it seems like the porn stuff is just kind of tacked on almost.
2 words, Jack. Educated prostitute.
Again, it almost seems like the porn stuff is just tacked on for the perverts in the audience.
I don't know. Nasu's a little freak. You have to admit that.
Oh, absolutely.
It was like he is absolutely thirsty, like on an insane level.
Oh yeah, no.
This is the man who brought us Merlin the Dick Wizard, after all. As
Dick Wizard Merlin is still one of my favorite stories to tell with regard to Fate because of how wild it is.
It's just, there's... like... I can't.
It's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
Not even the Merlin specifically, but just like so much of like what there was a point in time where culture sort of reaches a singularity in a given place, and it was not as obvious in post-war Japan. But somehow, it's like how, you know how it's like you put something in Google Translate through like 400 different languages? It's not like that, but it's similar in that it's like if you distill and concentrate certain cultural quirks, you end up with a singularity of just unique and, quite frankly, mind-boggling stuff that people just take for granted, but it's like tracing how it got there breaks my brain. For example, I'm sure the American founding fathers were not considered anything more than respected statesmen at best during their lifetimes. And yet somehow, in just a few hundred years, they are literally, there is a portion of the American population that literally worships them as gods.
Yeah, no, that's disturbing to me, and I'm an American.
Yeah, and it's not even like... It's not a small portion of the population, Jack!
I know. Again,
It's like-
it disturbs me. We should not be deifying men. Or women, for that matter, but...
I'm pretty sure there's, like, entire books of the... New Testament that are like, hey, don't do that.
It's literally one of the first few commandments.
Yeah! It's like...
Two of them, actually. No false idols, and don't worship any other gods beside, you know, capital G God.
Like any Christians have actually read the Bible.
Oh no, they've read the Bible, they've just read very cherry-picked passages of the Bible.
They haven't so much read the Bible as they have, been told what the Bible says in many cases.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm getting into all the people who just listen to televangelists with, you know, no critical thinking whatsoever.
But yeah, it's like ostensibly, Christianity is supposed to be a monotheistic religion. In many parts of the world, it really isn't anymore.
Yeah, a lot of these people worship money.
Well, no, even besides that, there's even like the milder stuff. Like a lot of the saint stuff is not exactly textbook, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, speaking as someone who is a Catholic, the saints are not really the same as, like, minor gods are in a lot of polytheistic.
I know they're not. Believe me, I know they're not. But do other Catholics know that that's the case? Because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't really.
Oh, absolutely.
Like like I said, there's a very pretty significant subset of the Christian population that are basically practicing a more polytheistic religion where capital G God is just the head god and all of the saints and various prophets are just minor gods, and there's this whole it's a whole thing. Like, I know you understand this is not really by the book, as it were, but like you are almost somewhat unique in that regard. Well, not unique, but uncommon. Religion is wild, and I say this as someone who accidentally started a cult once.
I remember. I was there.
What? How did you do anything? Did I know you?
I think we did know each other a little bit at that point. Maybe.
No. You did not know me at all because at the time my name was not Fuzzy.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember what your name was at the time.
No, you didn't know me at the time because I wasn't involved in the TFS community at the time. I still watched all the stuff, but I wasn't in the Discord server, and that's where we met. We did not meet until I was Fuzzy. And yes, it's the.
To be fair, depending on when it was, the Discord might not have been a thing yet.
That's possible. I don't know when it actually started.
The TFS Discord specifically was started
October 2017.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I was doing the cult stuff in like 2015.
Huh. Oh, okay. So this isn't about the Starlight Cult. Okay.
I have nothing to do with that. In fact, I tried to break it up several times.
There can only be one cult after all.
Well, that's a matter for debate. But yeah, I do find it kind of interesting how fluid religion becomes oftentimes, despite the fact that religion is one of the more, if you go by the book, it's one of the more rigid and textbook things that exist.
You should talk to someone who's Jewish about that, because they vigorously debate scripture all the time.
No, yeah, because it's just like there's
like
so much to interpret there.
Yep. Like, studying and interpreting the Torah is a lifetime calling. It's like one of those things that you dedicate your whole life to, or at least a large portion of your life to.
Yeah, theology is like, if you approach it academically, theology is not as religious as many people might think. Like,
theology is very academic.
It is a legitimate academic field of study, right? It's like, at least if you're like approaching it from a place of good faith, you are generally trying your best to apply as much of the scientific method as is viable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's basically just a very focused and specific branch of literary analysis, really.
Kinda. Man, imagine getting to do a theology thesis on something like the Mahabharata or like another one of those epics from ancient religions.
My brother in Christ, there are literally thousands of those.
I'm not shocked, but imagine being able to, actually get to do your thesis on something like that rather than, something of the more boring variety like the Bible. Actually, no, the Bible should be interesting as well, depending.
The Bible's pretty metal.
I love how there are so many people trying to defend, like, oh, the Bible's perfectly friendly for kids. Have you fucking read the Old Testament?
No, they haven't. That's the point.
Yes, that is sadly the point of that is that yes, no, they haven't. That's so they don't know what they're talking about. No,
There's so much fucked up shit in the Old Testament.
And on that subject, it's a perfect segue to Japanese culture. Because in the same way that the founding fathers have sort of mutated through cultural, through a cultural game of telephone, essentially. Mm-hmm. They have mutated into literal gods. In a similar fashion, Japanese culture has been distilled, concentrated, and eventually collapsed into a black hole. Not all of it, granted, but very specific parts of it have collapsed to form the
Weebosphere.
That is an excellent term for it, yes. And it's just, I feel that there is an entire, lifetime's worth of, doctoral research you can derive from just studying that trajectory.
I think Mill's gone dark.
Oh no, are we still streaming? Or are we still live?
We are still live.
Oh, okay. So Mill has not died.
No,
okay.
But the game has.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Rest in spaghetti.
Saw it happening this time, and I'm 100% certain it is the disc, though I don't know. My fucking SSD, I think, is the thing.
Oh, that's not good. You might want to make some backups of that real quick.
Something took up 50% of that, and considering I technically have 2 discs, what with my external hard drive, then I'm fairly sure that's taken up the entirety of the internal one. Now, what is taking that up, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's not good at all.
But now I'm starting to think that the issue is not actually whatchamacallit, OBS. I think it's the system. I think that it's
Wait, so you're telling me that the issue the whole time has been a flawed system that has...
Are you saying that the system is broken?
What reference are you trying to get at here?
The world.
Yes.
And, the entire political and economic ecosystem.
This talk has been oddly political.
Oddly?
Yeah.
Look, we are many things. Non-controversial is perhaps not one of them.
Oh, I'm certainly not.
Or shall I say, ideologically quiet is not one of them.
Yeah, no, we are not ideologically quiet.
We're loud and proud, as it were.
Am I? I missed it this year, but like, you guys are still there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to go to a pride parade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I believe at least one of those letters applies.
I mean, you'd be allowed to go even if you weren't part of the.
Allies are also allowed to participate in the parade, so even if you aren't, some kind of LGBTQIA or plus, then you'd still be allowed, even welcomed by some. Because showing support for the community is still a good thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think I'd feel awkward if I didn't have at least one letter under my belt.
I get that.
Like have a flag. You can't go to a parade without having a little flag.
That's not true. You could also dress up. You don't have to have a flag to dress up.
That's true, but the parades take place in summer.
And I
it's
hate
hot.
summer so much.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of summer. I don't really like winter that much. Spring and fall are also not that great. I think I just don't like going outside. Which should surprise no one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but yeah, it's just, let's get back to our degenerate stuff. There is just a level of fetishization and like sexualization in the Weevasphere that it's very difficult for me to comprehend how it came about. Like the extremes that have come about from there.
It's hard to say. Also, Mill, you're not screen sharing anymore.
Right.
I don't think there's a point to sharing the screen at this point.
Fair play.
I'll still do it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many, like, cultural singularities that are like that, where aspects of, like, individual aspects of culture sort of explosively or implosively react with each other and create this sort of inescapable well, and I don't think this is present in all places, necessarily. Because these things tend to a certain extent, I wonder if they, like, normalize. Not in the sense that they get reduced, but in the sense that they spread to enough of the other parts of the culture that it sort of gets assimilated over time.
Mm.
The reason I say that is because this is less prevalent in older cultures. Right?
What, you
If
mean
look
like China and India?
China and even like a lot of parts of Europe, right?
Yeah. Like older European countries.
Yeah. Or older parts of newer European countries.
Mm-hmm.
The entire region surrounding the Red Sea and several countries out from the Red Sea. Like, Mel, I'm sorry, but it's saying Middle East is just so much easier. Like, you're a historian. If you don't want us to use the term, then, like, figure out a term.
Come up with an alternative, please.
Like I said, we shouldn't be, like, bringing this entire area together because it's an incredibly diverse area.
Oh no, I've
Yeah,
seen
but
maps.
so is everywhere. No, but like that's the thing is that like even if you go to a single country like India or China, there is more cultural and ethnic diversity inside those countries than there are in like entire parts of other continents.
Oh, indeed.
So,
Although,
to a certain extent, I agree, but at the same time, when you already do that with entire countries, it's kind of just like harder to justify not doing it. Especially because there's.
I think
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
China, at the very least, isn't the bulk of at least the major population centers consisted of Han Chinese ethnically?
It is, yes, but there are a lot of even in among the Han Chinese, they have adopted different regional idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, that tracks.
Uh,
Kind of like a younger country like America has a lot of regional idiosyncrasies, despite a lot of ethnic similarity in many of those regions.
Exactly.
At least earlier on.
Right? Like, you can go to majority white population centers in America, and they might have like vastly different cultural, ideological, and political.
Like if you go to
systems.
like Madison, Wisconsin, it's going to be a lot different than say, any city in Georgia, for instance.
Hicksville, Idaho.
Oh yeah, Idaho as well. Well, Idaho is a bit different as well, yeah. But if you go like Oklahoma, for example, go like dead center Oklahoma, OKC, Oklahoma City, it's going to be vastly different from any of the cities in the Midwest, the area around the Great Lakes. And that's going to be different from the Northwest, and that's going to be different from the Northeast, and that's going to be different from the Southeast.
Yeah, like even in a country with smaller population like Canada, I'm a good old Toronto boy. And Toronto is kind of like the cultural melting pot, maybe aside from Vancouver, in Canada. And yet if you go just like a few hundred kilometers away to, well, like 1,000 or so kilometers away to Alberta, it's the American South down there. In many places. Hell, even in the greater Toronto area, right? Like, I go to school in a place called Oshawa, colloquially known as the Dirty Schwa. That's not made up, that's an actual nickname for it. And it's, well, it's become more culturally diverse recently because it's a university town, but like, there's a lot of white people there who are very, like, rural.
I've noticed that a lot of more ethnically homogenous areas tend to be a lot more, what's the word for it?
Bigoted?
Not necessarily bigoted, but rigid, I'd say, in beliefs overall. Whereas in more diverse areas, both culturally and ethnically, there tends to be a lot more cosmopolitanism going around. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like, Mill, do you get where we're coming from here?
Is that directed to me?
Yes.
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 So like, that's why I'm like, while I understand your frustration with the term Middle East, cultural diversity has never stopped us from
describing regions based on collective
with an umbrella. Yeah. I think that that region is just a bit more unique in that there's the political lines on the map line up better with the cultural and ethnic lines historically than in many other places.
Well, I would agree with that if it wasn't for the fact that the British are the ones who carved up most of the Middle Eastern territories into the countries we see today.
No, I'm not saying it was on purpose. It
Also,
happened
there's a
accidentally.
lot of,
But-
like Kurdistan in particular is a good example of why that's not really, fully accurate.
Oh, it's never going to be fully accurate, but it's like... Oh! On the subject of... On a completely different note, I went to AGO for the first time over the weekend on Sunday.
AGO?
The Art Gallery of Ontario.
Ah.
And I looked at fine art. I, like, managed to see both a Van Gogh and a Monet up close.
Interesting.
Also, that Monet, which is just a random, like, landscape, like a landscape of a city's skyline, actually made me feel something. Like, I'm starting to understand why people are so into this Monet fella. Man knows how to use colors.
Speaking of art, I went to an art museum when I was in Spain a few years back. It was really neat. There's a lot of cool stuff there. But I'm not remembering anything off the top of my head. I guess I didn't have any transcendent experiences like you did.
I wouldn't go that far. It was more just like
Deeply memorable.
I just really liked the pretty colors.
Nah, that's fair.
Like that's about as far as my understanding. I did have a bit of a Daredevil Season 1 Kingpin experience with a piece of abstract art. It was genuinely just smears of like gray and white, and somehow the combination of like the positioning of those colors just made me stare at it for like a solid few minutes before because I went there on a trip with my cousins, and it was a bit awkward because while one of my cousins was like older and like an actual functioning adult, the other two were babbies, and by babbies I mean one is in grade 9 and the other is literally 12. And it was awkward because classical art...
A lot of nudity, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of naked ladies, yeah.
Look, it's artistic!
I mean, there's a fair number of, like, dinguses as well. But those are mostly on the statues.
Michelangelo's David is one of the most iconic examples. I remember not too long back, there was like a whole-on thing with some really annoying parents being like, oh my god, you can't show that! It has a dick out. It's like, it is one of the most iconic pieces of art ever made. What kind of idiot are you?
You say that, and yet I'm pretty sure the Vatican is full of statues that have had their pinguses removed and replaced by a fig leaf like centuries after the fact.
Yeah, well that's the Catholic Church. They're a bunch of prudes.
And those parents aren't?
Oh, they are also prudes.
But yeah, it's like, it was a very interesting experience, and the museum is massive.
Oh, I bet.
Right? So, there was a lot of, I also saw a really cool art book of, like, sort of surrealist, grotesque art. And, I really wanted to get it, and then I checked the price tag, and it was like $60, and it's only like $30 at Amazon. So they are marking up I like knew the gift shops marked up the prices. I didn't realize literally double the market price. Also, I need to go. At a moment, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Kano is a lot of fun to play, I gotta be honest.
Oh, I bet.
Absolute fucking bulldozer. Speaking of Kaido, the big event is coming. What is it? Saturday night, Sunday morning?
Saturday night. Well, Sunday morning for you, but Saturday night for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I believe it's 7 p.m. Pacific. It's when One Piece drops. So that should be 3 a.m. for you?
Yeah. I'll probably be
Fuck,
able
you're
to.
still up. I'm gonna try my damnedest to watch it live.
Well, not live, but yeah.
Well, yeah. As soon as it drops on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, you can't watch it live unless you watch it as it airs on Japanese TV.
I do not understand enough Japanese to watch it live like that. But I am starting to understand more and more of it as I do my classes.
So yeah, I feel like you should share the reason that I'm actually doing all of this, which is that the very final like treasure log mission is complete bullshit and has you basically face, you know, all the big factions in a row.
Oh, so boss combat, basically.
Yep. And it is not fun. Not fun.
I mean, I
whatsoever.
would be shocked if it was. Boss gauntlets are only fun if the bosses are, like, not too difficult to handle.
So yeah, so you have to face off against all the 7 warlords, the Marines, Revolutionary Army, and then the Emperors. Now,
Fun times.
you know, thematically speaking, try to do it as Luffy. That did not work.
Is he not broken enough?
He's too small.
Oh. So you used Whitebeard, didn't you?
No, I haven't chosen Whitebeard to do that. That's why I'm leveling up Kaido, because he's a big fucker, and ain't nobody gonna knock him back.
Oh, so you're deliberately foregoing Whitebeard.
Yes.
Interesting. Who would you say is the most broken character you played as so far?
I mean, honestly, as I said, the big characters absolutely have an advantage just because of sheer size and bulk. It just means that they hit such a wider range of enemies.
Hey, that's not the question I asked, though.
Well, I mean, I feel like it is. You know, Kaido and Whitebeard are definitely up there. I mean, I would also say, for her relative size and, you know, general importance in the One Piece story, fucking
Big Mom?
no, Carrot is fucking broken.
Yes, I remember you discovering that. That was fun.
I mean, I
You
remember.
just swiped her out on a whim, and she found out she was absolutely busted.
Yeah. I mean, I've now completed the story mode of this game, and she plays such a big role in the final battle against Kaido, and it's just like, yes,
In hindsight, that's both very sad and very...
like, you know,
Honestly, I wish
she
Oda had
attacks
let her be.
in her Sulong form. She attacks alongside like fucking Zoro and Sanji.
Oda, why? Why do you not like the bunny, Oda? Why do you not like the bunny?
I think she was like the first one to, in the eventual, you know, like fucking, big group attack that drives Kaido off. Because you don't actually defeat him in the end.
I'm shocked.
Considering, you know, they didn't know what was gonna go on. But, she's the one who lands the first blow, or something like that. I also remember I shared a screenshot from like the big climactic cutscene with you know, all the heroes confronting Kaido, and you know, some of them absolutely make sense. If I just scroll up in gaming just so I can find it. Where is it? Here. So yeah, so you've got Luffy, you've got Kid and Law, which, you know, makes sense. Also key members of the Worst Generation. You've got Sabo, who is there for some reason, but, you know, he thematically makes some sense as well. Obviously, you've got Kinemon and Momo. Again, you know, thematically consistent. And then you've got Carrot.
Oh.
And again, the sheer, like, thematic, well, not just design dissonance of, you know, you've got all these quite serious looking, you know, pirate characters and samurai characters, and then you've just got the fucking bunny girl with the gloves with claws on them, with the big white tail, and it's like, okay, why did you think that was... Even if Carrot had joined the Straw Hats, I still don't think that would have been, like... I still don't think that would work.
Yeah, nah.
But,
Still wish Oda had let Carrot and or Yamato join the crew, but he had decided on the number of Straw Hats he would have and stuck with it, so guess that's that.
Put it this way, the battle has been going for 12 seconds and I've already KO'd 400 enemies.
Fuck me.
Kaido is a genuine beast, probably more so than Whitebeard.
Well, yeah, he's the king of beasts.
Like, Kaido's sheer bulk really does just, like... And slightly more wide-ranging attacks, I would say. Kobe, let's be real, you haven't done shit.
Right now I'm reading through some archives on stuff that Brandon Sanderson has said with regards to, you know, the books.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to find that one specific answer to a question that we were discussing in the Discord.
This isn't the best map for Kaido, because his sheer size means that the camera puts him above the trees.
Oof.
So it's a little difficult for me to see, let alone people watching the stream alongside.
Oh, here's something interesting that, an interesting word of Brandon. He was directly asked, was Shallan's mom a herald? And he responded, what would make you ask that? Chat, why would they ask that? The Stormfather said to the heralds that that's impossible. Which, you know, I'm sussing that response. That is a very shifty response.
Yeah, anytime an author doesn't answer a question directly, it does start making you think.
Yep. Well, that's another point in favor of the theory I saw earlier. Which, you know, is that Shallan's mom is a herald. But there's a surprising amount of stuff that lines up with that theory now that I've actually, you know, thought about and looked into it. Very curious. Oh, here's another one. Is the secret way that the God King in Warbreaker can have children the same way that the heralds can? Sanderson's response: long series of uncertain sounds. No? But there could be? I'm just gonna say no. But interesting theorizing, and it's possible that I could change my mind. That's such hilarious waffling.
That one does make me more think, it's just more something that he hasn't really thought about.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it's more like waffling.
Yeah, than him actively trying to
hide shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when authors just try their damnedest to hide shit and, you know, don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna get this. Look at Kato go, Jesus.
I was gonna say, Chopper, you're a doctor.
I love Chopper. I love whenever Chopper just freaks out and is like, "Oh, we need to find a doctor. Oh, wait." he's hilarious and adorable.
Fully worthy of his. What's his bounty now? 100 berries?
1,000
Oh,
berries
1,000.
now.
Good for him.
He got a 10-fold upgrade, the biggest in the crew. Gotta look at the silver lining somewhere.
Yeah.
Poor Chopper. Also, Sanji got bumped down to 4th highest bounty in the crew, as he deserves.
Oh yeah. Now the crew contains, you know, former captain in his own right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everyone except for Chopper has bounties in the hundreds of millions. I think everyone who has a bounty below Robin's got a flat 300 million boost to their pre-existing bounties. I have to double check, but I believe that's how it happened.
I love
Yeah,
that one of Kado's moves on here is simply just hooking his club.
Yeet!
Go back here, Ace. Gotta donut you again. I take particular pleasure in fucking beating up Ace in this game because he's on the higher difficulties. He's an absolute fucking arsehole to face.
Yep.
So fuck you. You get Conqueror's Haki'd.
Do we actually see the effects for Conqueror's Hockey in the game, or is it just like...
No, legit, you do damage if you with characters that can let out a blast. So obviously Shanks does. Shanks's whole thing is like Conqueror's Hockey attacks. So he has like a ton of them. Kaido can do it. I think Luffy can. I think Whitebeard has an attack that can do it as well. Like, legit just an attack that lets out a blast of Conqueror's Haki.
Huh, neat. Welcome back. We're talking about One Piece stuff right now.
That makes a great deal of sense, yes. What was the topic of conversation?
Flipping back and forth between the gameplay and the current bounties of the Straw Hats. Because I'm double checking to see how the bounties have increased recently.
Can we just, like, agree something? I know bounties are kind of BS sometimes.
Yeah.
With regard to actual skill level. Case in point, Chopper. But,
yeah, Chopper, but Fuzzy, Chopper had a 10-fold increase in his bounty recently. The biggest increase yet.
The worst... See, I know you're right, and that's what makes me even more upset about it.
Poor Chopper.
Poor Chopper, yes. Though they're not wrong, he does love cotton candy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're at least got his epithet right. But, the thing I was gonna say is that I know bounties are sometimes BS, but can we just agree that Zoro is stronger than Sanji?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also,
Zoro has Conqueror's Hockey. Sanji does not.
Well, we don't know if he does or does not yet, but, like, he probably does. Let's be real. It's like, it's a classic case of observer's bias, in that, yes, Conqueror's Hockey is rare, but the environment they're in is a place where only people who are strong enough and maybe have Conqueror are the type of people who have Conquerors can survive.
So I actually think that Conqueror's Hockey isn't something that you're born with per se, but something that you like develop because of extreme levels of ambition. And, you know, Sanji doesn't really have a level of ambition that Luffy and Zoro do.
That is true.
Because, yeah, haven't the people we've seen have had that, you know, extreme level of ambition?
Yeah, they've had very ambitious goals.
They have ambitious goals,
who's
and
like comfortable to set up. Only a handful of them have been really comfortable to sit on their laurels, and I think that's basically just this that we've seen in the present day of the story. I think that's just Whitebeard, Garp, and maybe Shanks.
And to be fair, it's not that when they developed it, they were still in their youths when they were in that phase of being extremely ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, even if you look at someone like Kaido, who's kind of content with his lot in life for a large part of the series, or King, for example, even then, they were not like that in their youth when they developed it. But anyway, if we think about it, the first use of any given Haki, with the exception of observation, has been by Zoro.
No, the first use was Shanks scaring off the Sea King.
Well, okay. The first, like, main character use.
Okay. Yeah, that would be Zoro beating Mr. One in Alabasta.
No, because, like... Well, no. Zoro's the first person to use armament.
Yes.
Because apparently Shanks thought using armament wasn't worth it against an East Blue Sea King, and look where that got him. But yeah, Zoro can, like, literally everything he did. Also, the implication there is that Zoro's, like, master and Kuina's dad is a lot stronger than you might think.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In hindsight?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so Zoro used, the advanced... He didn't even use the basic form of Haki. The first form of Haki he used was the advanced form of armament. And it
I
was
think
the
Zoro
same...
might just be a hockey savant.
He's a savant in many ways, let's be real.
He's getting lost for sure.
He's... No, that's the other half of the savantism. Zoro also is the first person who showcased the active, like, advanced use of Conquerors. Because apparently, Asura is used with Conqueror's Haki, and he did that in Eni's lobby.
Yep.
Before the time skip. So, that's kind of wild, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Zoro is almost certainly a hockey savant.
And yeah, I think it's just like, generally, Sanji may be like in third place in terms of strength, but
I
like,
put him in fourth below Jinbei, honestly.
that's actually a good point, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. Because Jinbei is a good fighter, but that's never been his entire... Well, look...
Jinbei has experience.
Yes, but he's been warped so often that it's just like... It's hard to grok his actual competence.
To be fair, everyone who's warped him has been, like, in the uppermost echelons of power in the setting.
Yeah, I know that on a logical level, but on an emotional level, it's just like, but Jinbei keeps losing. Like, I know it's not rational, but like, as we discussed at length in the past, that human beings are not a rational species. But yeah, I think that, like, that cover page really summed it up, is that if you look at the captain, vice captain / first mate, and third in command, there is a massive gulf between second and third.
Oh, almost always.
And, like, just look at Kaido, King, and Queen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kaido and
King is
King...
like a whole different beast from Queen.
Yeah, no. And it's the same with, like, Rogers and Rayleigh.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe their third was Copper Gaban, because gold, silver, and copper.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just like, by all indications, Rayleigh was the second strongest fighter, and he's still strong enough that while he admits he might not be able to, like, take the Blackbeard pirates, he can at least make them bleed, even at age, like, 75.
Yeah. Oda really likes his badass grandpa characters.
Look, let's not go down that road, because it's gonna keep making me mad.
Alright.
About recent current events.
Yes, yes, yes.
Look, you have to admit that I have some justification in my anger.
You have some, but I don't really fully agree with it.
No, it's just like... he deserved better.
I suppose I still don't think he's dead.
Well, let's not be too explicit about it. I don't think we should go
Look,
that.
Oda has lied before on characters' fates, but it's almost always been lying about a character being dead and them actually being alive rather than the other way around.
I'm just gonna say, the two participants in that fight, aren't they part of the same organization?
Possibly. We actually still don't know.
Yeah, because
For sure about Kuzan.
also, like, if it wasn't for the fact that we found out earlier in this same fucking arc that Saul was alive after Kuzan froze him, I'd be a lot more skeptical about Garp's survival, but, like...
Or we're just, like, going out and, right out and saying it, huh?
Might as well.
But yeah, the thing that confuses me is that it's been very, very... And it's good writing, right? It really introduces an element of tension that would not be there otherwise, but it has remained extremely ambiguous as to whether or not Kuzan is an actual member of SWORD.
Yes.
It's, like, still so ambiguous, and that's what's really... That is creating the entirety of the tension. And you got props to Oda. The man knows how to create tension non-artificially. Right? Like...
Oh, speaking of tension, apparently the entirety of the Shonen Jump magazine is going to be on break next week, so...
Oh god, and after some of the more recent chapters... Oh, okay! Y'all read their most recent MHA?
No.
No.
Oh god, oh... No,
You
it's
mean
the
the one
on
from the week
Plus.
before last, or the one that's
one on
due to come out? Because I don't read spoilers for MHA.
No, the last chapter released on Manga Plus.
Oh yes, I have read that one.
Still no.
Mill, you need to stop being a volume reader at this point in your life. You're just going... You are already, like, several hundred chapters behind at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
talk about it
50
anyway, because at this, to be brutally honest, I've seen enough then, you know, nah.
No, but, like, I know, but, like, you should... Like... This is one of the dangers of fanfiction. I'm pretty sure, Mill, you've hit the point where you just...
he's
have
gone
read
past
so
the
much
fanfiction of
fanfiction
Event Horizon, yes.
You've just reached the point where you've read so much MHA fanfiction that the original just doesn't appeal to you as much anymore. Is this correct?
It's more that I've hit burnout for MHA, really.
I do think the last mini arc, the last little mini character arc, was an incredibly good resolution. And it was just a very, like... Look, I'm gonna say it. Horikoshi's writing has been up and down in the last arc, but he really nailed it in the last couple of chapters.
Oh yeah, no. I will say, I am very much doubting this particular death.
Even if it doesn't, it's the thought that counts.
Yes, I just don't think it'll stick.
I kind of hope it sticks.
I don't.
Just
It'd be
like-
really... It'd be a real double standard, I think, especially after all the bullshit with, you-know-who, literally just a few chapters prior.
You can
Well,
you can
that's
say the
because-
names. I know who you're talking about. I know you're talking
Okay,
about.
Dobby. The bullshit with Dobby.
No, you're talking about Dobby and Toga.
But yeah, it'd be a real weird double standard if we have the whole thing with Todoroki, Uraraka, and Deku all trying to save their respective villains, and Todoroki succeeds, but Uraraka fails. That'd be kind of, you know,
But
a little bit
has
shitty.
it occurred to you that even if accidentally, Horikoshi's not the greatest at writing women, and so he might actually make the death stick without realizing how problematic the double standard it is?
Oh, I am aware of this. I'm just hoping that he, you know, doesn't do it.
Look, I'm
And
just
also, like, again, this arc has been replete with fake-out deaths. Including
Yeah.
a particularly egregious example that I know you're probably not happy about.
Oh, is that confirmed that he's actually still alive?
Last we checked, he was getting his exploded heart sewn back together, so...
Yeah, at the cost of Edshot's life.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. So, you know...
Who is,
an
you know, a
actual-
character who isn't remotely connected to him.
Yeah, it's just being like, well, Horikoshi was like, well, I wrote my golden precious baby boy into a corner, so I guess I'll just kill off this other character to save him, even though there's like been no actual interaction.
Yeah, no. Look, I get the idea of having one hero heroically sacrifice themselves to save the life of another hero. I get that. But Horikoshi, come on.
Look, Bakugo, everyone knows, is the main character, and we all know that the MHA Rising movie was just foreshadowing for when All Might dies and then Deku passes on One for All to Bakugo with his dying breath, and he masters it within 3 nanoseconds and immediately single-handedly wipes out all of the villains. We know that that's how the series is going to end.
So I've got bad news for you, Fuzzy. There's going to be another My Hero movie that's apparently going to be a lot closer to Horikoshi's original plans, which was basically that.
That was movie 2, wasn't it?
To a certain extent,
Look.
yes, it was inspired on it, but this is apparently just going to be the original plans, I think.
Okay, so that basically means he's not using his original plan for the manga.
Yes.
Because otherwise he wouldn't put it in the movie.
But the fact that that was his original plan makes me lose any respect I had for him as a writer. I will now be reading. I will now be hate reading the rest of MHA.
You know,
Why,
Fuzzy,
though? 'Cause
as a writer myself...
He changed his mind.
No, as a writer myself, I am of the opinion that you can have terrible ideas and realize they are terrible ideas and change your mind about them and be a good writer.
Did
Like,
he
I have had
realize
some
they were
terrible
terrible
fucking
ideas, or
ideas
did
that I
his
have since
editors?
gone back on.
Did he realize they were terrible ideas, or did his editors push him into?
We don't know. He has changed his mind, is all we know.
Yeah, but like,
Fuzzy, are you really going so far as to say that Shonen Jump editors are good when they've consistently actually worsened?
writes twice a day. Like, say what you will about the editorial nightmare that was the Cell Saga. We got some pretty decent villains out of that.
Alright, give you that. I'll give you that 19 and 20 should definitely not have been the overall villains.
Yeah.
The
That
fact we
wasn't the right call on the editor's part.
Yeah, 17
Not
and
only were
18, I
17
think 17 and 18
good.
definitely could have worked. 17 and 18 100% could have worked.
They were good, but there's just something so very iconic about Perfect Cell, and we wouldn't have gotten Perfect Cell without.
Editorial shenaniganry, yes.
Yeah, so it's just like, here's the thing: 17 and 18 could have worked, but they would never. I don't think they could have achieved like the Frieza levels of iconic villains
Mm-hmm.
in the same way that Perfect Cell did. Like, Perfect Cell was a good follow-up to Frieza. You have to admit that. Regardless of all of the other BS going on, he was a distinct but similar enough character from Frieza that it was just like, it felt right. But yeah, so look, broken clocks can be right twice a day. So, look, I have made it, I've been very vocal about the fact that I find that MHA is an excellent, but at its core flawed series.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of series, to be fair.
True, but I mean that I think MHA is in its weird spot where we have, it's like, what did we determine we determined that JJK is 4th generation Battle Shonen, right?
Is it 3rd or 4th? Yeah, 4th makes sense.
It's 4th. And I believe stuff like Dragon Ball is second generation, because there's the really old stuff before predating Dragon Ball that was still Battle Shonen. That is the first generation. I think Fist of the North Star predates Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Only by a couple of years, if I recall correctly.
By a couple of years, but tonally they're very different.
Oh yeah,
In
no.
many ways,
This is North
in many
Star and JoJo are much more similar in terms
Yes.
of like tone and
yes, I
style.
think you can call stuff like Phantom Blood and Fist of the North Star first gen shown. And then second gen is Dragon Ball and all of its imitators. Third gen is
The big
ironically
three in their cohorts.
yes. Though Oda
I'd say
has kind of
third gen
transcended.
would probably be the 10 years or so that started from the first chapter of One Piece. Anything that started within that time frame would probably be third
maybe.
gen.
And then fourth gen is the stuff that looked at the flaws of the third generation and tried to fix it.
To varying degrees of success.
Yes. And because of that, I feel like there are some series that kind of fall in this very awkward 3.5.
Yeah, like stuff like Ass Class would be
No. Ass Class is like, I would consider it full on fourth gen. Not in
okay.
terms of time, but in terms of like success in like properly correcting the mistakes of the past.
okay. What would you say is 3.5 then?
Something like Demon Slayer.
Mm.
Something like Demon Slayer, something like Black Clover.
No, Black Clover I think has been mostly successful.
Yes, but it has also fallen into a lot of, especially if you've read until now, there's been a lot of like the old school like
I mean,
Narc and Black adjacent BS.
there's definitely areas it's improved on, such as, you know, the relationship between Asta and Yuno. That's a definite, you know.
Yeah, the rivalry is great.
That's
It's
definitely
like
incredible.
it's a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it's
My God, a healthy rivalry in my battle show.
it's a straight it's a
More
straight,
likely than you think.
it's a straight up upgrade on, you know, the Naruto and Sasuke relationship.
Yeah, and it
And
helps
then
that you know. Okay, go ahead.
and the other one that I really give Black Clover credit for, it's managed to keep, you know, the Black Bulls incredibly relevant even at this late stage.
Yes, it hasn't that level of power creep yet.
Yes.
So I will give it all the props for that, because that is the fact that, you know, when we got to
The fact that team fights can still happen in
Yeah.
a believable fashion.
It hasn't fallen to the obscene levels of power creep that a lot of earlier shonen have.
but yeah, fucking Magna beating what's his face, or at the very least
Got
coming.
it.
King, David? Yeah, the king.
That was fucking
Magna
awesome.
Like,
that was
that-
so good.
That was one of the best fights in recent shonen.
Yeah, like
He is-
genuinely.
Is Neji done right?
Yeah,
Because he is very much the underdog who didn't win the genetic lottery, and he still succeeded.
yeah.
And he's a commoner, and he beat the crap out of a king and won.
Yeah. No,
There's like something
badass.
very satisfying about that. Like,
Fu-
very cathartic.
Yeah, no, that was like a fantastic moment. So well done. And, you know, but yes, Black Clover absolutely has its issues.
Anything regarding Asta's harem, which I'm really upset because Nero has joined it, and I'm just
I did not interpret that and seen that way. I don't agree with that being a legit interpretation at this point.
because I don't trust Tabata to be a good enough writer to like not just default to that eventually. That said, there has this last arc and these last couple of arcs have been doing a bit too much in the sudden power escalation on the villain side.
I mean, it is supposed to be the final boss, so I kind of get it.
But at the same time, it's similar to MHA, where it's just like the bad guys have so many advantages that it's hard to believe whenever the good guys score.
But the good guys have scored believable wins. It's been a bit more of an attrition than prior, but still.
And whether or not they're believable is... But anyway, what I'm trying to say is while it has made improvements, it also falls into some of the old traps, and that's why I classified it as 3.5 rather than a full-on 4th gen.
Well, we're gonna have to just agree to disagree on this one, because I don't really agree in this regard.
But can we at least agree that MHA has kind of also fallen into the 3.5?
Kinda, yeah.
Because, like, while yes, it had an excellent start, it does suffer from shonen character bloat, which, you know...
Oh, absolutely. Not to the obscene degree that Naruto and Bleach did, but still.
It does suffer from shonen character bloat. It does suffer from some, like, power creep shenanigans and escalation issues. And I think it definitely, like, the man doesn't know how to write women.
I will say he's not the worst shonen author at writing women.
That bar is so low. That
bar
is so low.
The bar is a limbo pull in hell, yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, the worst shonen writer in terms of writing women of any shonen that's been published in the last 20 years is still the author of Death Note, in my opinion.
Death Note hardly even counts as battle shonen, though, right?
I said any shonen.
Yeah, but, like, we're talking about battle shonen.
If it's battle shonen, then it's Kishimoto.
Not really. No, Machima. You're forgetting Machima exists.
I'd agree with you if it weren't for the fact that Machima actually writes female characters with, you know, different personalities and actual, you know, competence in combat.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point, but at the same time...
Look, he writes a shit ton of fan service that, you know, I'm not really a fan of... Again, he does at least write the women as characters more so than Kishimoto does. I know I'm playing devil's advocate here, but it is important to make that distinction.
Also, you do have to remember that somehow one of two things happened. Either someone got pregnant from kissing, which I think someone needs to give Machima the talk at that point, or the main bad guy, who is supposed to be a sympathetic villain, engaged in some necrophilia.
Oh yeah, that.
Because how'd she get pregnant?
I don't know.
Not only did she get pregnant, the child had, like, a miserable life, and yet somehow we're supposed to just be happy that they got a happy little reincarnation.
Yeah, no, that's pretty
unnecessary and, like, incredibly just... Now that's the dark side of the breeding fetish that I've talked about at length.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at that point, it's not really even the fetish stuff. It's more like just the, oh, hey, these two are a couple, so they have to have a kid type thing. It's more of a mandatory parenthood type thing. That's, you know, typical in a lot of more conservative cultures.
It's very heteronormative as well.
Mm-hmm.
The whole nuclear family dynamic. Anyway, so yeah, I think there is this awkward 3.5 genre where... a 3.5 generation where they've improved, but there's still a lot of issues.
Well, they've improved on, like, the worst of, you know, the sins of the previous generation, but in doing so...
The power creep, the character bloat, all that stuff.
In doing so, to a certain extent, they've fallen into different pitfalls.
But, yeah, I think JJK has certainly been better about that.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, you know, JJK, in terms of power creep, it set up its, you know, power ceiling early on.
very early on, yeah.
And we're seeing that power ceiling in action right now, and what the fuck?
It's like he has definitely gone above and beyond in this latest fight.
Yeah, no, it's difficult to follow at points, but you can still follow it. It's just so this is what the top level looks like.
It definitely takes some thinking about, and and what's really good is he's definitely, he's building on previous, previous fights and previous uses of,
Yeah, he's showing that there is a natural progression from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, really.
Because that's the thing. There was somebody in the TFS Discord who was like, "Can somebody summarize this fight for me? Because I'm really not understanding it." And so I went and read the half a dozen chapters, and it is only about half a dozen fucking chapters that encompasses this current fight.
I remember you said you'd be back in 20 minutes. It took you like 40.
Yeah, it only took me 20 minutes to actually, get through the chapters. It took me a lot longer to actually write things up in a coherent manner. And yeah, it took a lot of writing up, but that's
It's
more
still...
just the intricacies.
You know what? I'm gonna make some enemies, but I've already made those enemies. Togashi should take some lessons. If he ever decides to keep writing at some point.
I gotta step out for a second.
Alright.
Yeah, Togashi should take some lessons. This is how you do a cerebral high-level fight instead of people just, like, pulling new powers out their butts. As has happened in Hunter x Hunter, because it's a natural progression. The stuff they're doing and the techniques they're using are all things that other characters have done and used. They are just using them at a higher level.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, something that escapes so many authors. It's like, I'm guilty of this as well, but like, in a honestly, I could even say that JJK is closer to a hard magic system than it is to a soft magic system. Because it's a very natural progression.
Yeah. Also, firstly, I think there's been a hint of what Yuji's curse technique is.
Oh, go on.
I'm gonna pause this so I can actually find what I wrote.
Okay, is it the thing where how Sukuna severs things and Yuji connects them?
No. Just give me a second. I think it's probably... Yeah, it's probably that. Probably that one. No, that one. So yeah, so chapter 222, Yuji is sparring with, I think it was Kusakabe.
Yes, I believe so.
And it looks like Yuji calls Kusakabe Itadori and tells him to master something. And Kusakabe seems to respond with Osu.
Which is something Yuji says sometimes.
Yeah. So could Yuji's curse technique actually be something like body swapping?
That would be very interesting.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's like screwy speech bubbles or something, but that definitely looked like something.
It could also be a sort of like, just in a similar way. So here's the thing. A lot of Yuji's thing has been like empathy, so it might be like a forced empathy sort of thing. Where you become so empathetic to the other person that it just kind of like, you sort of blend each other together.
Yeah.
So it's like almost reverse mind reading. Which is like, could be terrifying. Though I do still... First of all, I want Todo to get his hand back so he can use his curse technique again. because like he's kind of screwed without it. Well, he's good without it, but he like it would be helpful.
He
if he
loses
had
his trump card, yes.
it. Yeah, and also I hope Hakari also gets his hand back because he needs both hands for his domain expansion.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he uses both.
Hikari.
Yeah. He uses both hands. He one hand flat and the other one in the OK sign.
Fair enough.
Well, he can simulate the flat hand with the missing hand. Can't he?
I don't know if that's how those. They're pretty specific gestures. I don't know. I think he'd have to change his entire mechanical structure. They do
Also,
have to do this same gesture every time.
Speaking of Hikari, I do think it's hilarious that that Akutami basically made his whole curse technique because he was annoyed that his editors wouldn't let him show Yuji going to a pachinko parlor.
That is funny, but that is very in character. Also, but yeah, it's like I think it's just one of those things where I really also want some resolution on the fact that Todo is one of the brothers.
Yeah, no.
All but confirmed at this point, right?
Yeah. No,
So the memory thing was definitely the memory thing itself might have just been Todo being goofy, but the brother thing might well be a legit thing with, you know, the whole thing around the cursed womb guys.
What's his name got around? What's his name? Kenjaku.
Kenjaku. Kenny.
Yeah.
Good old Kenny.
Kenjaku got around.
Good old Kenny boy. Or Kenny.
Yeah.
We'll just call them Kenny.
don't slut shame
Yeah.
Kenjaku.
Look!
They enjoy themselves.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. There is an element of deception involved, and deception does make consent a bit more dubious.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, like, yeah, especially
And,
in
you know,
Yuji's case.
Yeah, if we're gonna take what he did with Yuji's dad as
The standard.
as a standard, where it's clear that that Kenjaku preyed on a grief-ridden man, then yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I do think Yuji is somewhat special because all of Kenjaku's bodies, with the exception of Yuji's mom, who was probably for her very overpowered gravity curse technique, with the exception of Yuji's mom, all of Kenjaku's bodies have been male. So I wonder if Yuji might be the only baby he's personally carried to term as a woman.
Very possibly, yeah.
It is possible.
Yeah.
Of
Right,
course,
'cause,
Kenjaku. We only know of 3 of Kenjaku's bodies. The original Naruto Kamo,
Naruto
Yuji's
Shikamo.
mom, and currently Geto.
No, we saw a
Wait,
we saw at least one in 400 years ago.
Wait, I've had a brainwave.
Oh?
Oh.
Kenjaku is Yuji's parent. Kenjaku's thing
Yes.
is body swapping.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh.
that couple of seconds of oh yeah, that's how I was feeling when we were talking there.
Oh, because there is a genetic component to
There
curse
is.
techniques.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I think Yuji's thing is body swapping.
That would make sense.
It's probably not as like direct
No,
as Kenjaku's, where he
It's not inserting his brain into another body, but like
It's
yeah,
a
no,
brain
that-
here to get overpowered curse technique.
Yeah, body swapping, which allows him to like maybe bring back the curse technique of the body he swapped into. At least to a certain limit, because we know even Kenjaku has like a limit, so maybe he can do one. Maybe he can hold one at a time. But even if he can body swap with someone and then hold one curse technique at a time, that's still kind of busted.
God damn it! Fair play, Akutami. That's good.
If that is actually how it, we could be totally off base.
Oh no, we absolutely
Absolutely.
could. This could just be a result of screwy like fucking speech boxes. Like
Look,
I'm not gonna.
We're not going to stop you from cooking, Mill. We're not going to stop you from cooking.
No, let him cook. But like, if it is the case, then fair play to Akatami. Also, that might also tie into the fact that Yuji might be the only baby that Kenny has personally carried to term in, like, an actual cursed womb. A literal cursed womb as opposed to, like, the more screwy ones.
All right.
yeah.
Give me a second. I'm gonna bring up the chapter.
Yeah,
so you can have a look and you can judge.
But that's a very interesting take on it that I had not at all considered, and I was okay. Look, not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for some gravity shenanigans because that could be fun. I also was hoping that because a lot of that does mean that Gojo's theory. There's a reason Gojo's theory was wrong. Because if you recall, Gojo's initial theory was that because Yuji's base cursed energy came from Sukuna and his from being fingered by Sukuna, just like deep throating.
Okay, we get it.
Yes, no, look, Jack, please.
What?
Press the button!
Oh my.
Like, I would do it myself, but you know I'm on mobile, so I can't. I'm hoping they bring that to mobile sooner rather than later, so I can just do it.
Fuzzy, right-hand page. What do you think?
Where's the link?
No,
he's screen sharing it right now.
Screen sharing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hang on. Oh, yeah. No. This is
pretty unambiguous.
Because there's no reason for Yuji to be telling Kusakabe to master something, is there? There's no reason.
No.
And there's no reason for, And I don't think this is, like, that is not how Yuji's face usually looks.
No.
And look at how Kusakabe's acting. That's a Yuji. That's in the top left one. That's a Yuji fault, if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you are right on the money.
Yeah.
It's body swapping because he inherited from Kenjaku.
Yeah.
Good old Kenny.
Now that
I'm gonna keep calling him that, by the way.
Yeah, no.
It's funnier that way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that screenshot you just showed us of Shoko as well.
Yeah, that one. I'm choosing to believe that she's talking about Nobara, and Nobara's still alive, fuck you. I don't know who else she could be talking about, okay?
That is true. Well, there's not really any other sorcerer that would probably apply to.
What this does mean, have you noticed the distinct absence of mentioning, what's her name?
Whomsta?
Mask Lady.
Oh yeah, her.
Mask Lady?
Mask Lady. Star Rage. The Todo's mentor. What's her name?
Oh,
Yuki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tsukumo.
Yes. There's no mention of her. Very distinctly. So that's like.
Oh God!
I'm gonna be very upset.
No, please don't be her. As much as I wanted her to survive, I'd rather Shoko be talking about Nobara. Okay.
I know, but at the same time, like it's
Yuki
bad.
did kind of turn herself into a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's just that is the only bad writing moment in my opinion of like out of most of JJK is the whole introduce super cool awesome female character and then she dies after one fight. That's just no. That's not a good look.
It could be both, but we don't know.
It could be a fake out, but like
no,
he did turn himself into a black hole.
I know, but now that you've mentioned it, the context barely worked for Nobara, but the context of the scene worked for fucking Tsukumo. Yeah, I think it's her. God damn it. Ugh.
I mean, I don't know. Regardless, it's hard to say. I'm willing to wager that Akutami would absolutely pull something like just having Nobara just nonchalantly pop up next to Yuji while they're watching the fight between Gojo and Sukuna and just say, "Hey, what's up? What did I miss?" And they just respond nonchalantly before freaking out.
I still say that Nobara's curse technique is actually kind of perfect for taking out Sukuna.
It is.
Nobara has one of the most broken curse techniques in the series. The only thing that's been holding her back is her lack of
Yeah.
experience.
So,
She
but
just
if
hasn't the time, but, like,
She put fucking Mahito on the ropes with it.
to be fair, that was a very bad matchup. That was an awful matchup for him, but it still was great to see him running. But yeah, if Nobara uses resonance on a finger of Sukuna, you know, the one that Gojo has hidden away. Bye Sukuna.
That would fuck him up
surely.
real nice.
That'd fuck him up, surely. It's just a question of whether she'd be able to get do it to him.
Yep.
So fingers.
How do we know the finger isn't with Nobara as we speak?
Fingers crossed. I would forgive all of the bullshit surrounding Nobara if that is
If the last scene is just her resonancing up that last finger.
Not even that. If just like you get to the end of Gojo versus Sukuna, and Sukuna looks like he's about to win, and then he just suddenly fucking freezes up because Nobara has resonanced him, and that allows Gojo to take the win.
Yeah.
That said, I do think I look. I know a lot of people dislike Gojo. I know Akutami dislikes Gojo, at least on a mimetic level. But like, there's got to be some root of truth to that. That he has some distaste for Gojo. But god damn it if I don't want Gojo to just win off of his own merits, like solo.
Fair.
Want
No,
Gojo
that's fair.
But yeah,
let's be real. If you look at his actual backstory, he's kind of a tragic character.
No, he absolutely is. I mean, the anime has been
deserves
covering
a
it.
win. He deserves a genuine. Have you considered the fact that this would be the first genuine, real win he's ever gotten in his life, in the sense of achievement and struggle?
I don't know. Toshi's a pretty big win. That was a pretty big W.
Yeah.
True, but let's put the caveat of in his complete form.
Fair enough. And
to be fair, he figured out the actual.
Yeah, and to be fair, yes, he beat Toji, but that still didn't save Amanai. So.
Yes, so it was a Pyrrhic victory. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give you that. Actually, yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. No, he really hasn't, has he?
Yeah, he's always either effortlessly stomped. No, he's just either effortlessly stomped, especially after Toji. But even with Toji, the moment he figured out reverse curse technique, Toji couldn't even touch him.
Nope.
Like he was done.
To be fair,
it was a stomp.
To be fair, Toji was basically saying, "Hey, I have a plan for everything. It was Hollow Purple that he didn't know about, and therefore didn't have a plan for." It probably Gojo still probably would have come out on top overall, just because of I don't know but
it's important to remember, while you can say that Toji didn't have a plan for Hollow Purple, but Gojo's not the first user of Hollow Purple.
No.
There have been other limitless six-eyes people in the past.
By the way, are you just gonna leave the the page up, or are you gonna go back to?
Well, I don't want to play because I feel like that would take my mind off it. Jujutsu Kaisen is one of those series where you have to think a lot, so
maybe just throw up the "we'll be right back" thing then.
Yes, put that up. I don't think we're that's better. I think.
All right. Yeah.
Or just throw up a meme picture of Yuji.
I've got the perfect picture. Give me a second.
Yeah, while Mill's doing that, yeah, I think, but that's the thing. There have definitely been users of Hollow Purple before, because Gojo is not the first limitless six eyes user.
No, he's not.
That's on record, and you'd think that though it's pretty well recorded, considering the fact that this is possibly the most powerful combination in history.
But I thought the point was that Gojo even said that this was the one technique that the Gojo clan kept secret, basically.
Oh, yeah, no. It's probably
Oh,
that the technique was
that's
developed by the previous user and wasn't spoiled for anyone else.
and you know what makes that even more interesting?
Fuck is it?
I kind of want to see Gojo pull out something unique to him. Because if you think about it, he hasn't really done that much to distinguish himself from the previous user, the previous Limitless Six Eyes. He hasn't really done much to distinguish himself from that. And I feel like that probably, like, gets on his nerves, given his character. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not the first. He's the second.
Where is it?
And knowing Gojo, that's not something he can tolerate.
Hmm.
So I wonder if he's going to win by pulling out something unexpected. Also, we should note, Sukuna still hasn't pulled out that particular technique. The mystery fire curse technique.
Hmm.
That is implied to be like an advancement in curse techniques entirely unique to him.
Mm.
To the point
And
that it was even like...
their recent domain expansion spammery has been cut off by their limitations. So
by the
we
fact
might
that they
see
both
him
have
pull
brain
out
damage
that
now,
bullshit,
yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're gonna have to pull out something more like... They've passed the conceptual phase of the fight, and now they're getting into the dirt. And they're gonna have to pull out something. And I think because that thing where even in the text it was like weirdly not censored, but it was like weirdly like I don't even know what characters or script they used for it when he pulled it out against Volcano Head.
Hmm. Also, that's a moment I'm looking forward to so much. Is that Sukuna fucking bow drawback with the flames like that? That to me just looks so fucking cool.
Oh, it's gonna look rad in the anime. Also,
Also,
anime onlys are not fucking ready for Shibuya.
They really aren't now.
can they even get through Shibuya in one season?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably be about 18 episodes. Remember, it's mostly action for a lot of it.
That is true. That is true. It's much easier to compress. Like, it's not even compression, but it's like just because of how...
It's easier to
Akutami
do
chooses
like 3 or
draw
4
it.
chapters per episode rather than just like the standard 2.
Right, like, yeah, a fight is much more easy to convey rapidly, especially because, like, fights tend to be drawn out in the manga because he favors the descriptive sequence style.
Which only really became a big thing during the culling game, which is after Shibuya.
Yeah, but, even in Shibuya, there was a lot of that.
There was some of that in Shibuya, but it's a lot more pronounced in the culling game stuff. Especially with, Hikari's bullshit.
But yeah, I like... Also, controversial opinion.
But
I think... well, it's not as hot a take as my other hot takes. It's an aesthetic take. I think aesthetically, I like the look of Fushiguro Sukuna more than Itadori Sukuna.
I can see that.
Like, I think like both the lines and the facial expressions and the change in the hair, especially, I think it looks better on Fushiguro than Itadori. Like, to the point that, well, no, the point I'm trying to make is like, Itadori Sukuna looks like Itadori with some extra like accoutrements. But
I like that word. Accoutrements is such a fun word.
There we go.
it is a great word.
Got the perfect picture up.
Yeah, Itadori Sukuna looks like Itadori with accoutrements. But Fushiguro Sukuna looks like a totally different character. They just have such a different vibe and atmosphere that they look... Oh, that's the perfect picture.
Yep. It took me a while to find out. I wasn't sure where I'd put it, but yeah.
It's just such a
like the vibe changes so much that you can really feel the difference. That it's a different character, which is just not something that happens as much with Yuji.
I kind of find it really sad that we didn't get whatchamacallit. Oops. Let me just do that. That we never got Nobara and Sukuna interacting, because I feel like Nobara would have just fucking roasted that man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely roasted him to hell and back. And it would have been glorious.
It's been 2 fucking years since
Sadly,
we last saw her.
that'll be me for this podcast, sadly, because of duty calls.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
So I'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, before you leave, Fuzzy, check out that word of Brandon I posted in the Discord.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it is interesting. Okay then. Bye bye.
All right.
See ya.
Fuzzy. All right, we can get back to the game then.
Yeah. We've talked about Jujutsu Kaisen for almost half the stream.
It's a very, very good series.
Mm-hmm. It is. And because the anime people are appreciating it a lot more.
Though again, I'm still underwhelmed by Gojo vs Toji. Part of that is probably me building it up in my head too much, but I don't know. I still can't.
That's right,
help
Mel. It's
it.
all your faults.
I still can't help but be disappointed a little bit.
I liked it quite a bit, so can't really agree with you there. Sorry.
But yeah, so there's in the upcoming bit there are 2 bits. Well, actually, 3 bits in particular that I'm like, that this season would cover. 3 bits in particular that I was waiting for. One of them was Gojo versus Toji. The other one, as I said, was or is that whatchamacallit?
Sukuna versus Jogo.
Sukuna versus Jogo. That just fucking shot of, you know, Sukuna pulling back that flame bow. Like there's like a semi-animated version of, or semi-animated sort of AMV of Shibuya that I really like, and that is just such a fucking cool shot in it. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then the third one is Toto's arrival.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype. I'm just looking forward to seeing Shibuya on the whole, because it's gonna be fucking wild. And seeing anime only is just melt down from it. It's going to be great too.
Oh no, it's gonna be fucking fantastic. It really is. Like we're really not engaging in hyperbole when we say you're not ready for this shit. I'd honestly say it's worse than whatchamacallit, the My Hero War arc.
Oh, it's much more brutal.
I mean,
It's very much one of those, like, it is the Marineford of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. Fucking Akutami and Horikoshi were just egging each other on during those arcs.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, you can just imagine, like, after every fucking chapter, they were messaging each other, just going, like, that's weak sauce, man, that's weak. You can do better than that. Fucking...
I forget, are they friends IRL?
I think they are. Didn't they, like, go and see a movie together?
Right, I think they did. I don't know which one though.
I can't remember exactly which one it was. Was it maybe in maybe the Evangelion movie?
I think it was
can't remember.
Evangelion, yeah.
They definitely went to see something together. Like they mentioned that, I think, in the
author comments.
In the author comments, yeah. And it was like in the fucking middle of the My Hero War arc in Shibuya, and everyone was like, "Oh fuck me." They're talking, they're plotting. God damn it.
Yep. But yeah, there's one moment in particular that, besides, there's a few moments in particular that I think will thoroughly traumatize people. And I think you know which ones I'm referring to.
Oh, 100%, and that's why I'm not saying them.
Same.
I mean, we've been hinting at one a little bit, but yeah.
We've mentioned it a few times, but not directly.
Yeah, we won't say anything else about it, but yes, it's gonna be... Poor boy. I mean, it was... To a certain extent, it was worse than the manga, because it happened, and then Akutami went on break.
God damn it.
So we had that, you know, that moment, and then... Oh, break chapter!
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a break like we get this week, where it was like, we just don't get a chapter. It was like one of those .1 chapters.
Oh, that's almost worse somehow.
I know it absolutely is worse, because you see a chapter and then you go, oh no, it's a .1. I've been too quick and the game is still catching up. Game, I've beaten Mr. 3 and company up. They're dead. They're quite firmly dead.
Wall rip.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just destroying the town. But no, I mean, I was talking with a colleague at work about anime in general, but well, I brought up, you know, my theory about Demon Slayer, which he did actually agree with, even though he's still enjoying the anime. Which, you know, fair enough, fair play to him, you know. But, you know, I also brought up the point that, you know, a lot of the long-running shonens, you know, Naruto in particular, they get to, you know, the length that they got to and really started to go downhill and not be as enjoyable. One Piece has managed to go further than all of them and still managed to generally keep up its quality. Like, I have issues with individual arcs, as I have said many times before, but...
I think everyone has issues with some arcs, though. Which arcs they have issues with are often differ from person to person.
Yes. So I don't think anybody agrees with me when I say that, that Water 7 and Eni's Lobby is too long.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't know anyone who agrees.
And that Lucci is boring as shit.
I know some people who agree on that front, but, again, I disagree.
I'm sorry, he just really doesn't interest me.
I get that. He is a suit.
Like, his whole point is that he's this super deadly guy, but it's just like, alright, don't really mean that much in this world. You know, and they tried to spice him up a little bit by fucking whatchamacallit, giving him his you know, what was it, Panther form?
Mm-hmm.
Again, just not that interesting. I really didn't find the zone fruits in that arc that interesting.
Oh, Lucci's a leopard. If
Lucci
you're
is a
talking about
leopard,
his-
right? Leopard, whatever. Big cat. Yeah, it didn't do enough to make him interesting. Right, Kato is all but fully upgraded now. Just gotta get those two.
Nice.
And that one. But I'm not entirely sure how I'm getting that one. So, what I'm actually gonna do... I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit for the final one of the stream. I need to do this one to get Drake's Allosaurus coin.
Oh yeah, who do you think are in the DLCs? I know there's some that are obvious, like, you know, Gear 5 Luffy is one of them, and one of them is obviously Uta. But who do you think are the rest of them? Because I believe there's 9 DLC characters that have been announced.
I mean,
And we only have...
if we're going as far as Gear 5 Luffy, then I'd imagine Yamato is one of them.
Oh, 100%. Yamato is definitely one I think is on that list.
Yeah.
The question is who else?
Maybe some of the other samurai?
Maybe. I'm trying to think, well, I know Kinemon's in the game. Is Kiku in the game?
Yes, she's part of the DLC as well.
Okay. Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
the ones from very early Wano are definitely there.
So they might include Denjiro then?
Yeah.
Denjiro is probably the one of the later... Oh, and they might include,
Oh, we'll probably get King and Queen as
Neko
well.
and Inu.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
Neko and Inu, and we'll probably get King and Queen as well, because neither of them are in the game. Because in this game, Jack is fucking Kaido's main lieutenant, and it's just like, wow, that's one that's aged poorly. That's one that's aged real poorly.
Oh my god.
Because, yeah, Jack is... Your namesake has not done well in the world of One Piece.
Yeah. I know. Look, I count on him all the time. I call him Jack the Jobber.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is.
He is. He absolutely is. Just takes L after L after L.
I don't think he's won a straight fight in the series. The one fight he did win was through underhanded means.
Yeah.
Of literally using a WMD.
Yeah. And as we established in Hunter x Hunter, that's not a legitimate win.
Mm-hmm. It's frankly bullshit. It is the act of a sore loser.
It is. Oh, hey, Buggy.
I fucking love Buggy.
He's a joke character done well.
I'm pretty sure Buggy is one of Oda's favorite characters.
Oh, 100%.
And I am happy for
No.
that, because we have one of the best characters in all of fiction.
100% Buggy is one of Oda's favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
Might be his favorite character outside of the Straw Hats. Outside of, you know, like the main group. Because, yeah, Oda just loves to loves to keep having Buggy fall upwards.
Yep.
Oh yeah, another thing that I discovered in my playing, Whitebeard actually has some extra combos that I hadn't figured out last time we played this on stream, and you can actually do his move where he fucking backhands Akainu and Marineford. Which is really cool.
Oh, I bet. Mind showing it off?
Yeah, I can do. Once we obviously do this one. Bye bye, Perisparrow. I really do love the one of Kaido's moves, just yeeting his club. It really is just so much fun to do. It's such a good ranged move as well. And because it's a lower level move, even though it does actually do a decent amount of damage, it comes back a lot quicker. So I can just keep using it.
Yeah, I am absolutely shocked that all of the Emperors are absolutely fucking busted.
Shanks is probably the least busted of them, and that is literally only because of his size.
Yeah, no, Shanks is the only human-sized Emperor.
And even he can still is pretty fucking good, frankly. Like, I would happily use Shanks in a lot of missions because he is actually quite fun to play. But again, he just doesn't give the same, you know, same bulk that Kaido gives.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it. Did I get a gold Drake coin? I'll have to check that. So... yeah, I think it was this one that I was going to do next. We'll do this one as Whitebeard, who's also fully upgraded.
Boy, oh boy.
So I just want to check. No. No, I didn't get that coin, and I apparently should have. Annoying. Right, okay. Right, let me try and remember exactly what it is. Right, not that one. Oh, I think it's a short one then. 1, 2. No. Bye, dear Mate. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That. Okay, maybe it's 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No. Alright, might be 1. Let's try 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's just an uppercut. 1, 2. Spin. that. No. No, he's got it. Where is it? Definitely got a 2. Is it full? 1, 2, 3, 4. It is. There we go. Alright, it's
Found
4.
it?
Yep, it's 4. See if we can find a proper enemy to use it on. Setsumaro will do.
Oh, rip.
Come here, Setsumaro. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, damn it, went too far. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I keep pressing too much. Setsumaro gonna die. Right, that's fine. We'll find somebody else. There'll be somebody else.
Of course.
1, 2, 3, 4. There. There. And... well, that pirate commander died before he could... Ah! Buggy! Buggy will do. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. There. And... there we go. Bye, Buggy.
Alright. The stream's a bit lagging behind. You're talking to me, so...
oh, you'll definitely see it.
yeah.
There we go. I did it again, just to kill Buggy. Oh, Buggy.
Absolute shambles. Yeah, I'll just probably wrap this up after you're done with that mission.
Yeah. Shouldn't take too long.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it wasn't, you know, Whitebeard fucking upgraded to his max, still Whitebeard. Oh, and Kaido can transform into his dragon form. I haven't actually tried to use it yet. Probably should.
Might be a bit tricky.
Probably should try and use it at some point. Hi, Kizaru. Bye, Kizaru. Kizaru is another one of those that fucking sucks on high levels. Because he goes into full, like, light form when he bursts, and he's so fucking hard to hit. He's just fucking whizzing around everywhere. On this difficulty, though, significantly less difficult. Akanu also sucks. Honestly, just the low gears in general suck in this game to fight
To
against.
play or to fight?
To fight against.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I wonder if as part of the DLC, they'll add, you know, more accurate Kaido moves. Because at the moment, in terms of actual like manga accurate moves, or series accurate moves, Kado's only really got Thunder Bagua. Bye, Bellamy. Fucking
Rest in pieces. Never stood a fucking chance.
When Whitebeard picks you up to, penetrate you into the fucking earth, yeah, somebody like Bellamy staying down. But yeah, so yeah, I wonder if they will add more moves from the manga in for Kaido. Anyway, that will be that. So, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed both the gameplay and the chat. We do love talking about complicated topics and then, manga.
Yep. Aren't we just such scamps?
In terms of future stuff, because we didn't do the Paradox Hour today, unfortunately, again, wasn't feeling up to doing the Cradle podcast. So we're going to stick on the book topics for Saturday and hopefully do the Dresden Files ones we had to cancel a couple of weeks back.
Fingers crossed we can actually do this one this time.
Yeah. Sunday should be D&D. I've made sure my schedule matches up with that. Though I might still be a little bit late. I'll have to remember to tell Kado about that tomorrow. Because I basically what happened is I got put on a close at work, which is 6 till most likely midnight, which is exactly in the period where we play D&D, which not great. So I had to switch shifts with the person opening, but their shift is like 11 till 7. So
might start a bit late.
Yeah, I don't want to guarantee that I'll be able to get away before 7 because it doesn't always happen, but fingers crossed I should be able to. Especially depending on who the manager is, because there is one manager who knows I have D&D that day. So if it's him, I'll be able to tell him, and he'll probably let me go as long as we're not super busy. If we're super busy, I'm fucked. But there's nothing I can really do to A, prevent that, or B, predict that. So when we get busy is so fucking nebulous. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll be able to start on time, but something to keep in mind. And then Tuesday and Thursday next week, again, probably gaming stuff. Might keep doing Pirate Warriors 4. We'll see how far I get in it. Off stream, basically, because I'm going to keep playing it because I like playing it. Now that Kaido's basically fully upgraded, I might give a try to that last fucking mission. I'm not doing that one on stream. I'm never going to do that one on stream because I got so legitimately frustrated doing it the first time that it would not paint me in a good light on stream.
Oof.
And it would not be enjoyable for anybody watching if I was to behave like that on stream. So yeah, I'm gonna avoid that. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. Please do give us a follow here on Twitch and on the website that shall not be named at the address @storytime_net. The @ should tell you exactly which one it is. Also, all the YouTube stuff, I refuse to say the full spiel because it makes me feel horrible. But,
like and subscribe if you have not already.
That stuff. Do that stuff on YouTube. Otherwise, again, thank you for watching, and hopefully we will see you on Saturday to talk about the Dresden Files. Good night.
Later.